This is Parenting on Empty, podcast number 29. This time of year is always a fun time of year for our family, for me, for you. Not only is it my beautiful bride's birthday, February 1st. Please don't send cards or gifts, just send lots of money, lots and lots of money. But also, end of January, first part of February, we celebrate homecoming events for our two adopted daughters. January 23rd, our oldest, is her homecoming celebration. We actually picked her up at the Portland International Airport. The adoption agency we worked with did not require us to travel.
Actually, they wouldn't let us travel.
They would not let us.
We wanted to go.
Yes. But they wouldn't let us travel to India to pick her up. The second adoption, our youngest, was with a different adoption agency, and they indeed allowed us to travel to India to pick her up. And we first laid eyes on her.
In person.
In person.
February 2nd.
February 2nd. So we celebrate homecoming events. We call them that. Our oldest daughter calls it her gotcha day. Kind of sounds like we were fishing or something.
It does. It's way less dignified. Homecoming has a strong, warm
It
feel.
does, yeah. Remember when we gotcha?
Gotcha has...
like we snuck up on her and
it's
gotcha!
not necessarily good. We freaked you out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you were running through the woods. Took us about 45 minutes to get you.
But anyway.
We celebrate those events, and it's not a huge thing. We don't hire a band. Actually, we've never hired a band for anything. But we don't hire a band for this either. We don't make a real big deal of it, but we do have a special dinner, sometimes some small gifts, and lots of praise, and sometimes we pull out some videos that I've made of
almost
the family.
always, actually, we pull out a family video of when the girls, whichever one is being celebrated, were young. Exactly. And we try to talk intentionally about what that child has brought to our family and why we're celebrating them, because we think they're significant and we love them and we're so glad that they're in our lives.
Correctly. You speak correctly.
Thank you. But kind of what we're springboarding off of is, I realize that not everybody has adopted, but everybody has significant events in the lives of their family. It doesn't have to even be something significant in a specific child's life, but it could be just something that your family really enjoys doing. I know that some people before Christmas have a certain day, like it's the day after Thanksgiving, they go out and get their tree, and that's a celebratory event, and they make a big deal of it. So kind of what we're thinking about and what we talk about regularly is what happens in the lives of the family and in the lives of the children that we can turn into celebrations.
Yeah.
And the more positive celebrations that we kind of embed in our kids' psyches and hearts and minds, that we make habitual, that they become events. Every year we do this. The more we embed those, the more after they leave home, they will remember those. They will sometimes want to come back for those events. But even if they are not able to come back, it'll be a touching base time where I know that on the girls' homecoming days, we will always call them.
Yes.
And I suspect that they will always want to call us, whether they're the first to reach out or we're the first to reach out to them.
Mental monuments. That's what I call them.
Hey,
huh?
That's catchy.
It's a mental monument. We like to celebrate things as a culture. As our daughter she hunts those things down and finds them on the internet. I don't know if half of them are true. But the other day...
Pirate Day is true.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. National Pirate Day.
Okay. Well, then happy Pirate Day, whenever that is.
Not today.
The other day, she said, "Did you know that today was National Short People Day?" Really? I forgot to get you a card. She's not real tall, and she was real proud of that. It's National Short People Day, and okay, Sure, let's celebrate it. Let's celebrate it. So I think, and she finds those things all the time, and she hasn't found a national bald guy with cholesterol issues day yet. So I'm still on the hunt for that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we like to do that, even as a culture. We like to celebrate things, to mark them as significant.
And even if you are not, I mean, celebrations for me are not instinctual. I have to really force myself to think about, oh, this is something we should celebrate. I'm more of an efficiency, get the job done, move on person. So since sometimes just celebrating something seems like not necessarily a waste of time, but it's not particularly essential. It's easy for me to ignore it and just make light of it. Like, we're so glad. I'm always good about acknowledging the event, but I'm not good about setting out to make an official celebration.
Especially if life gets busy,
yes.
A lot of things going on, and you feel like, okay, this is just another thing I have to do.
It is. And it's hard for me with something that is optional like that to say, no, it's really significant. And it isn't so much that you have to have a big hoopla, like you don't have to hire a band, but it does need to be something big in the family. And by big, it can just be making a big deal of it verbally, maybe throughout the day, 10 times saying something significant about what this event means or what it represents to everybody. Or maybe it means everybody cooking a meal together, which you have to eat anyway.
Right.
And if you cook it together as a family and everybody's in the kitchen and getting in each other's way and making a bit of a mess, it can force you to pay attention to one another and to make deliberate choices to be positive and happy just to be together.
You're just using maybe the right words, like the example of cooking. You may, obviously, you're already going to be eating dinner, but you can just simply say, you know what, this meal is in honor of this event.
Yes.
So we're going to have chicken to honor what you've done or what you've accomplished or what this day means. You are still going to have chicken either way, but now it's a special chicken dinner or pizza or whatever it is you were going to have that meal. That's pretty tricky, isn't it?
And it doesn't cost us anything to say a few extra words that are intentional and that are positive and uplifting, either about the person that's being celebrated or what the event represents to our family. It doesn't have to be eloquent.
Right.
It doesn't have to be something that you've spent time crafting. It can just be off the top of your head. And even, I know this sounds really corny, but even if it's just a family celebration thing, in enforcing I want everyone at the table to go around and say one positive thing that they really appreciate about whatever this is.
Right.
Like for us, it's a celebration of one of the girls. So there's only one other girl and then us. Each one of us, I want you to say something that you really appreciate, that you admire, that you love about the one being celebrated. And even though that's kind of a set up, I have to do it kind of thing, it still has impact and it still is remembered. And it sets this precedent that one thing that we do in this family is that we are always looking for ways to celebrate, encourage, uplift one another and the family. And I want to comment about this because our older daughter, Mariah, is really into events and commemorating things. She remembers the first everything. It's the first time I actually grew my nails out, Right. It's not quite that bad, but almost. And we obviously can't celebrate everything that she remembers, like Short Day. We did not celebrate Short Day.
We really didn't.
We did not. But it's appropriate to find significant things. I mean, maybe even once a month would be perfectly fine. And having it regularly having an event to celebrate regularly does not detract from the previous celebrations, which I know some people tend to think, oh, if you just over-celebrate, then it means nothing.
Right.
No, it just means you are a party family. You enjoy being together.
Right.
You enjoy whooping it up.
Exactly.
But something that I have realized is really significant to Mariah is Facebook, social media. And for her, if an event is real, it happens in virtual reality. It has to be documented in virtual reality. And so when she went to her first prom, it was a really big event, and she had to commemorate it on Facebook. And she was really hurt that I didn't commemorate it and that I was not acknowledging it on social media.
If you don't like the comment or make a comment on an event she posted on her wall, well, why didn't you do that? It's like it didn't happen then.
Or that we're not endorsing her or we're not supporting her.
Right.
Which, from my perspective, well, that's silly. But the bottom line is it's not silly to her. And she's faithful about every time she gets together with her best friend, she posts that on Facebook. She wants to commemorate. We got together. We had a great time. And on her homecoming day, she put together a collage of pictures of her when she was small and growing up and now. And she put kind of a paragraph blurb about how happy she is that she was adopted and great family, etc. I didn't commemorate it on Facebook at all. We had a big event here at home. I mean, I made a favorite meal of hers. We sat around the table. We talked about her. We watched a video about her coming home and growing up. It was all a yay Mariah at home. But I didn't...
We got her a gift.
We did. We don't always give gifts.
That's true. This year we did.
If we find something and we think, oh, this would be perfect, then we get it and we give it to her.
Right.
But that was not really speaking her language. Her language is, you didn't put anything on Facebook. And apparently I didn't even like her post. I thought I did. But apparently I didn't hit the like button, or I hit it and accidentally hit it again, which I've done before.
Oh, and then it unlikes it.
It does.
I like it.
Does.
No, I don't like it. I do like it. I think you can like it again, though.
And
you can even go back and find it and like it.
You can. And I did do that. I went back a week later and I liked it. I think
Facebook even lets you know, oh, somebody liked something you said.
They do.
4 months ago. It's a little irritating, but...
Every time you like something, they let the other person know.
Did you know that you liked something? Sorry.
I'm on a roll here, Dave.
I'm just trying to figure out how many times we can say like in one podcast.
I like that you're doing that.
Okay.
So I went back about a week later and I did like it. And
you liked it.
She immediately commented on it. Oh, I see you finally liked it. Thanks.
So you spoke her language.
I did.
Yeah.
And it's made me realize I need to be a little more intentional in the future, that it would mean a lot more to her for me to post something about my daughter, this big event, than just to talk to her face to face, which is super irritating for me. But, this isn't about me. It's about communicating to her and making sure she hears what we're saying.
Right. Finding the language that they understand and then using it regardless of how inane that language might be. I hope she's not listening to this. Sorry if you are.
And I'm not dissing on Facebook. I think it's a great way to keep contact, but I don't think it's better than face-to-face. And so I always value face-to-face more.
Yeah.
And I forget that in her world, at least right now, I don't know if it'll stay that way, but right now, important things happen on Facebook.
Right. Yeah.
And Instagram.
Yeah.
So that was a big revelation to me about, okay, so I need to be a little more intentional about that. You're much better at that than I am.
Yeah, it's kind of a techie thing, so I try to jump into it. It does get a bit cumbersome, though, I find, because here's my concern, and I'm not trying to digress or make this into a what's the big deal about Facebook, but sometimes it can be a little bit narcissistic in the fact that you post things just so you want other people to post it, to like it. So you're saying things just so you can get response. You're not really trying to make a connection between a person. You're just trying to throw something up there so people will say, "Oh, I like what you said," and that's really. I think that could be an issue because sometimes if you post something and nobody responds to it, what's your response going to be? Is it going to be, "Oh, well, why didn't anybody like that?" Well, what was your reason for putting that up there? Was it so everybody would respond and say, "Oh, what a wonderful post you just posted"?
I understand your concern, but I would say in defense of that, when you said if nobody says anything, if nobody says they like it or nobody comments, how do you feel about that? That if it is about communication, if no one is listening, communication didn't take place, and so that is disappointing.
Yeah, right.
So I do understand what you're saying, but I can also understand people not being very happy if they put something up because they want people to know about it, and then nobody ever responds. So how do you know if anybody even knows?
Yeah, and I think when you like something, it can be a way of saying, "I heard what you said."
Yeah, that's how I take it.
But
I do understand that it can be just kind of a popularity. Oh, lots of people liked everything that I said.
Yeah, right.
Which is very narcissistic. Yes.
Getting back to this original point, though, I used the word mental monuments.
Yeah, I love that.
And I have another phrase too.
Wait, roll of drums.
Yeah. There we go. Bottled memories, because
it's not as good.
Oh, you don't think so? Well, let me expand the concept.
The other one was alliterative.
Yeah, it's true.
Mental monuments.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have to work on that.
Bottled bazookas. That would work.
Okay. Well, and hopefully we'll do a podcast on bazookas. But the fact of the matter is,
bottled blethering.
Yes. Okay. This is your way of getting back to me from the like thing. Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. That's perfectly fair. The issue with the memories, when you take time to preserve them or bottle them, as I said.
If I could save time in a bottle.
Exactly right. They grow in importance and in value. It's like the reason I use bottle is because it's like a bottle of wine. A bottle of wine that's 15 years old is going to be pretty valuable, but if it's 25 years old, it's going to be even more valuable because of the passage of time, and it's had time to season and to turn into the ultimate drink. The memories do the same thing, as you would certainly agree, that as time passes, the memory gets bigger, and so I think the reason, again, we've talked about this, but you have these monuments that you celebrate, these events that you celebrate, and then as you look back, you think, we've done a lot of cool things. We've had a lot of cool memories and a lot of special events, and it can create that real sense of what's the word I'm looking for? That real sense of pride in your family, that real sense of
cherishing
the memories. It's always a concern that you might look back at your family and say, I didn't have that great of a childhood. I don't hardly remember much about my childhood, but what I do remember, it wasn't all that great. That would be sad for that to happen to our daughters. If they were to look back and say, I don't remember much about growing up, but I remember it wasn't all that great.
I do like the bottled memories, even though it's not alliterative.
Okay, thank you.
So work on that. Try to find something. BB.
I will.
Because you're right, bottled wine does get far more valuable with time. And I've watched that with both of our girls, that we'll do an event. And we've talked about this before. We called it working for the memory, not for the moment.
Right.
Before. But it's the same idea. that even when in the moment there are imperfections and maybe there's some bickering and maybe there's things go wrong and they don't turn out exactly the way you wanted them to, but you still have built a memory. And the thing is, when you put that memory on the shelf and you look back on it later, you hardly ever remember the little irritations, the little flies in the ointment, so to speak. And you do remember the thing that you guys did together and how it was a bonding moment and how good you felt and how these positive things happen. And even some of the irritating things just become funny in retrospect.
Right.
Or, yeah, I remember that. It's a shared bond, even when you remember the irritation. All you did was just tease me the whole time, and I got so mad. Wasn't that funny? Yeah, ha, ha, ha.
Right.
Well, at the time, it was...
Exactly, right. You know, and it's obviously it's the reason that I do a lot of video of the family events. And we've talked about that before. Sometimes, for me personally, that's sometimes a struggle. How much do I want to be, you know, recording and having this camera in my face as opposed to just putting the camera down and experiencing the moment? Mm-hmm. And that struggle with how much do I want to capture as to how much do I want to experience. But the motivation is to have that as a memory that we go back and look at later, the following year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. So that is a way of bottling those memories. And so if you're not necessarily one to pull out the video camera or whatever it is, your phone or whatever, to capture that moment, certainly having those little monuments, those mental monuments, as I mentioned earlier, is a way of doing that. It's a way of capturing those moments. You can put it on the calendar. Say this, go through your calendar. Maybe, you know, if you get real good at it, you could, when you get the new calendar out, you just start marking these little monuments that you celebrate over the years.
And actually, Mariah does that now.
Yeah.
As soon as we get out a new calendar, she starts writing down these traditional things that happen every year that we celebrate. And it's interesting that as you bottle these memories, you are actually crafting how the event is remembered. We were talking with Michaela the other day when it was Mariah's homecoming day and we were celebrating her. Michaela was talking about India and we asked her, so do you remember anything of India? Well, she was 1 when we picked her up and took her away from India. So she says, no, I don't really remember anything. I just remember what I've seen in the video.
Yeah. Right.
And we videotaped all of when we picked her up and as we were in India for a while and then coming home from India and then right after we got home. And so her memory of that event, and every time we celebrate her coming home to us, her memory is, oh, I remember what my mom and dad looked like when they first saw me. I remember the orphanage that I came from, even though she really doesn't remember.
Right.
But she remembers it through the way we have documented it, through the way we have reenacted it for her,
right.
through the way we have talked about it.
Yes.
And every time someone mentions her homecoming, it just brings up this whole package. She sees the bottle on the shelf, and we've crafted what that bottle looks like and what the stuff inside tastes like. And it can really be a strong reinforcement that you don't even have to say the same things the next year. And the kid, as soon as you mention this, they pull up all those things that you said last year, all the things that they see as soon as they look at that monument.
Right.
Mental monument.
Exactly.
That was very good.
Thank you.
I will remember that.
Okay, well, see, we just created another mental monument.
I don't think so.
No, I really do.
Do you?
Yeah.
The one time that I'm going to remember something you said, is that the mental monument?
Mark this down.
Mark the mental monument?
January 30th is what we're recording this today.
Would have been better if it was in March.
Probably, yeah. Mark
the mental monument. March.
But this is a mental monument.
Monday.
We just created
March.
one. Yeah. We'll remember this.